This is a presentation given by South Coast Air Quality Management District on Rule 2305, Warehouse Indirect Source Rule, Warehouse Actions and Investments to Reduce Emissions Program. This is training video number 2, Truck Trip Counts for Warehouse Actions and Investments to Reduce Emissions, or WAIRE, Points Compliance Obligation. I will first go over general concepts, then examples of how to count truck trips. Warehouse operators need to count their truck trips in order to calculate their WAIRE Point Compliance Obligation, or WPCO. Their WPCO is determined by the weighted annual truck trips, or watts, the stringency, and the annual variable. Truck trip counts are used to determine the watts. More information on this calculation is discussed in training video number 1. Warehouse operators also need to count truck trips to complete their Initial Site Information Report, or ISIR, and their annual WAIRE report. Both of these reports need to include the WPCO, which is calculated based on the number of truck trips. The ISIR includes an estimate of the WPCO required for the annual WAIRE report, which is due after the ISIR. This calculation is not binding. The WPCO calculated for the annual WAIRE report is binding. This calculation can be completed within the WAIRE User Calculator, which is available on our website, aqmd.gov/WAIRE. Earning WAIRE points for near zero emission and zero emission truck visits will be covered in a separate training video. A truck trip is a truck or tractor entering or leaving a warehouse site. One trip entering, another trip leaving. Truck trips count from Class 2B through 7 and Class 8 trucks of any powertrain type, including diesel, near zero emission, and zero emission engines. Truck trip counts will need to differentiate between Class 2B through 7 and Class 8 trucks. This is necessary for the watts calculation needed to determine the WPCO. For truck trip counting, warehouse operators do not need to collect information on the powertrain type. They only need to determine if a truck is a Class 2B through 7 or Class 8. A Class 8 truck is considered a tractor or tractor trailer, and a Class 2B through 7 truck is considered a straight truck. Warehouse operators will need 12 months of truck trip data for the ISIR, and will need truck trip data through the end of each compliance period for the annual WAIRE report. Keep in mind that for warehouses greater than or equal to 250,000 square feet, truck trip counts should begin now in order to collect 12 months worth of truck trip data. Truck trip counts are due based on warehouse size and first compliance period, as shown here. The ISIR is a one-time report, due in July of the first compliance period. Keep in mind, for the ISIR, the reporting period has some flexibility on the exact days, as long as 12 months worth of data is collected. For instance, it's okay to report from, say, June 3rd to June 2nd of the following year, as this still adds up to 12 months worth of data. The annual WAIRE report is due later, on January 31st after the first compliance period. It is due every year on January 31st, starting based on the first compliance period. For the annual WAIRE report, truck trip counts are required from January 1st through December 31st of every compliance period. These dates are not flexible. Please note that the earliest due dates are for warehouses that are greater than or equal to 250,000 square feet. Their first compliance period is 2022, their ISIR is due July 1st, 2022, and their first annual WAIRE report is due July 31st, 2023. Here is a very simplified example of the truck trip data needed for the ISIR. It may help warehouse operators to keep track of truck trip accuracy and time if truck trips are collected on a routine schedule monthly or quarterly. Depending on what a warehouse operator has at their warehouse, they may need to track fleet data, fuel charging data, and/or yard truck data for the ISIR. This data will be required for a 12-month period prior to the ISIR due date. Please see Rule 2305, Section E, 2, C through E for more information. Now I will discuss examples of how to count truck trips. Warehouse operators must keep records of truck trips that include the date and time of the truck trips, must be verifiable and representative, and must differentiate between Class 2B through 7 and Class 8 trucks. Truck trips must be counted daily or may be extrapolated from a representative peak period. South Coast AQMD does not prefer or endorse any method in particular. I will present here some examples of methods warehouse operators could potentially use. One method of counting truck trips is using an electronic telematic system or onboard GPS system in a truck to track when a particular truck enters or leaves a warehouse. In-roadway or driveway sensors are another option, which count when a truck passes a certain point, such as a warehouse driveway. Video monitoring may be convenient for warehouse operators, particularly at warehouses that already use security cameras to monitor their gates. Representative peak period sampling may be useful specifically for this method, as described here. See the WAIRE Implementation Guidelines, page 4, for more information on how to conduct representative peak sampling. The WAIRE Implementation Guidelines are available on our website, aqmd.gov/WAIRE. An employed guard could collect proof of truck trips. Like video monitoring, using representative peak sampling instead of daily counts could be useful for this method. See the WAIRE Implementation Guidelines, page 4, for more information. Again, the WAIRE Implementation Guidelines are available on our website, aqmd.gov/WAIRE. Truck trips can be counted from records that document all loads that are delivered or picked up at a warehouse. Finally, there may be other methods that could be used to count truck trips, as long as they are verifiable, representative, and differentiate between Class 2B through 7 and Class 8 trucks. Again, South Coast AQMD does not endorse or prefer any particular method. Please see here for our contact information, including WAIRE program email, WAIRE program hotline, and WAIRE program compliance website. Also, consider signing up for our WAIRE program compliance listserv to receive compliance-related updates.